welcome to HETRA. My name is Edye Godden and I am the CEO here at HETRA. I'm also one of the occupational therapists and a certified instructor. Today we're going to tour the HETRA barn and learn more about what we do here at HETRA. So I'm welcoming you to come along and we'll find out what HETRA is all about. Welcome. All right, so most of the horses are out for the day today. As you can see, all the horse stalls are open, but you can see above each stall is the horse's name. And for those horses that are fortunate enough to have sponsors, you'll see a nice oval around there who says who's sponsoring that horse, which is really cool. So we will have a chance to meet a few horses here as we go through the barn today, and we'll also learn a little bit more about the different areas here at HETRA. So if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, you'll kind of have a tour already under your belt. As you can see, each of the horses' stalls has their name on it along with a sheet that explains more about the horse. So you can see that this is Diamond's stall. Diamond is a quarter horse. It tells us how old she is, what color she is, what program she works in, and all of the things that she does here at HETRA. And you'll find that on all of the horses' stalls so that our volunteers are able to get to know more about our horses. As we come down the hallway here, we're going to get introduced to our miniature horses. So our miniature horses today are in the same stall, and this is Stormy and Blue. Sometimes they're together and oftentimes they are in their own stalls. Stormy and Blue are not actually ridden in our program, but they do a lot of work for us. So Stormy and Blue's primary job is to do groundwork. So we might teach somebody how to groom, we might teach somebody how to lead a horse or about the parts of the horse or the safety around a horse with use of the miniatures. The miniatures also go out in the public and do a lot of public events and meet people. So they're a great way for people to get familiar with a horse, and some of our individuals who might be a little bit more intimidated by our big horses, our miniature horses are a great way to make them more comfortable. So Stormy and Blue are hardworking in our program, and they have been with our program for several years now. And they're enjoying a snack. So the horses get a snack every day when they come in before they go to work. Each horse comes in at about 2:30 if they're going to work for the day and goes into their stall. They get a snack of hay in order to put a little bit of food into their tummies before they go to work. And then our awesome volunteer team goes to work getting them ready. So they groom them, they pick their feet, they take them out and lunge them or walk them, and they tack them up and get them ready for our participants every day. All right, and we've come now to the kitchen. So the kitchen is the place where our horses' meals are prepared. And with 25 to 27 horses in the HETRA herd, and a lot of our horses being older, it is a pretty busy place because each horse has their own special diet. It's very important that we pay attention to what that diet is and that they get fed the same thing each and every day. So we have a very well-trained group of volunteers that help us with feeding our horses every day, twice a day, so in the morning and in the evening. And they do all of that meal prep right there in the kitchen area. And right across from the kitchen here we have our volunteer room. And right now it looks like our only two volunteers for the day are Elsa and Tiny. And Elsa and Tiny are actually staff here at HETRA, so they do have a job here. They're two of our 6 barn cats at the facility, and it looks like they're taking a break in the volunteer room, so that's a good thing. But here in the volunteer room is an area for our volunteers to put their belongings into a locker so that they can be stored while they're waiting here. We have this nice window to the arena so that we can be able to communicate with the volunteers and back to the barn if we need something out in the arena while sessions are going on. We have a refrigerator and a microwave. It's very important. Our volunteers sometimes come and they might spend 4 or 6 hours here, and so being able to warm up some food and a meal is really important. So this is our volunteer area. We also have a library of horse books so they can learn more about horses while they're here. And we love our volunteers. So HETRA has, I think, over about 240 volunteer shifts that we fill each and every week. Our volunteers go through extensive training in their jobs, whether they're a sidewalker or they're a groomer or they're a tacker or they are leading the horses for us. Our volunteers play a very important role. So next up is the instructor office, and this is where our instructors or therapists would go after sessions in order to write notes and document the progress that our participants are making each time they come here at HETRA. So we are in the tack room, and as you can see, we have a wide range of both Western and English saddles, and that is very important because we do have not only a wide range of participants, but also a wide range of horses. And just as you and I wouldn't wear the same size shoes, our horses don't wear the same size saddle. So our horses go through saddle fit a couple times a year with our horse manager to make sure that their saddle is fitting correctly and not causing any problems. And we keep an active list of what saddle fits which horse, which is again very important. Here at HETRA, safety is always our biggest concern, and so you'll notice safety equipment is extremely important. So you notice on the Western saddles that we have Western safety stirrups, and on the English saddles we have English safety stirrups. Again, very important part of what we do here at HETRA. You're also going to notice that we have some adapted equipment. So we have a saddle here with a handle that allows our participants to help support themselves at a little higher level. And then we also have what we call surcingles or soft pads that we use for our participants who are in our therapy services program. So these are often used with a saddle pad underneath and the participant is riding right there. That allows us as therapists to be able to put that person in different positions. So we might have them riding sideways or backwards or laying on their tummy in order to help build strength and work on very specific goals. So this is our command center for the day, and you can see here that each of the horses have their own grooming buckets that are specifically for that horse. We also have our boards up here typically for what's going to be happening in the arena. Today we don't have that. We have our conditioning board up here. We have our board up that the volunteers know which horses are working today, and that tells us what horse has had their feet picked, has been groomed, has been lunged, and who did those activities with them. So this is really our hub of activity when sessions are going on. People come back in here, check in here to get the information they need in order to get the next set of horses ready. So we're going to meet a horse here at HETRA. This horse is Allie, and you can see Allie's door is open right now, and that gives Allie the opportunity to put her head out and talk with us and interact with us if she wants to. But if she doesn't want to, it allows her to do what she wants to in her stall as well. Normally during sessions, these doors are actually closed, and that keeps the horses from putting their heads out and interacting with other horses or volunteers. And again, safety here at HETRA is very important. We want to make sure, number one, that nobody is ever sticking their hands inside the bars. Number one, that can be very dangerous because your hand could get trapped. Number two, the horse might think that that is a food of some type, and we don't want that to happen. We never feed our horses any treats by hand. Again, a lot of our horses are on special diets, so they can't have extra things, and also we don't want them to start thinking that they should take things out of people's hands because they are handled a lot every single day. So we really want them to understand that their food comes in their bucket, and that's the only way their food comes. So we've now entered the arena area, and as you can see today, we have a couple horses turned out in here today for their turnout time. However, I wanted to point out that this is our wheelchair mounting ramp. We also have a mechanical lift that if we need to use that to transfer somebody from a wheelchair to the horse, we can do that right there from that mechanical lift, which is in that maroon bag up there. And then you can see our mounting block, so we can use either mounting block in order to help our participants get on and off their horses. Back here we have our toy storage area and activities and games. So during each session, we do a lot of different activities and games with our participants. During our therapy services, again, we might have extra equipment that we use with each participant, and that's all stored right here, convenient next to the arena for us. So we're now standing in what we call the parent corral, and this is where parents or caregivers would stay and watch a session here. You also see that this is where we have helmet storage as well. So this is the area where our parents and our participants gather prior to getting ready to start their sessions. They might sit and observe during the entire session. So it's an area where everybody gets to kind of hang out. So normally during a tour, we would have participants actually mounted and completing sessions either in our adapted riding or our therapy services program. Today, however, we have the arena used for turnout, and our turnout group today is Miss Ellie, who's walking towards us, the black horse, and then we have Red and Ty. And so they are out here for turnout today and enjoying the nice day and the larger space to kind of get out and stretch their legs. While we're in the arena here, that I'd like to point out is, if you can see down at the far end, we have another mounting block. We also are really fortunate to have a great set of mirrors in the arena. So we can utilize the mirrors in order to help our riders position themselves and get some feedback. And Miss Ellie is going to come for a close-up. She said she's ready for her close-up. Another thing I'd like to point out about the arena is we do have 2 big fans that we utilize in the summertime. The arena is heated and insulated, so we are able to run sessions even into really the coldest part of the year. So this is our Aqua Sizer, and we use the Aqua Sizer for many purposes here at HETRA actually. So one of the purposes we use him for is evaluation. So when we first see a new participant, we might decide that we want to put them on EQ first. Number 1, it can tell us how they're going to mount and dismount. And number 2, it can tell us what their balance is going to be like once they're on the horse. We also use EQ for actual treatment or sessions with our participants. EQ, as you can see, has big wheels on him, and he also will rock up and down. We're able to put saddles of all kinds on him, so we can put whatever saddle is going to work for the participant. And as you can see, we also have a wheelchair mounting ramp right here. So it's easy for somebody that's in a wheelchair to get up onto the ramp, and then we can do a transfer from their wheelchair to EQ and go to work. So we really love EQ. He's a great part of our program, and he doesn't require any major foot care or veterinarian care. This is our parent viewing room, and so this is an area where parents or caregivers can come and either watch their session, their participant session in progress, or they can come and relax. So sometimes I will come in here and I'll see parents reading books, or maybe working on their computer, or visiting with friends. So it's kind of a nice area. It is heated and air conditioned, so it's nice and climate controlled, and of course no bugs in here that you would maybe get in if you're out in the open parent corral. So it's a nice place for our parents to gather. This is the HETRA classroom, and the main activity that occurs here is our life skills program. And that program runs Monday through Thursdays from 9:30 until about noon. Individuals in that program work on all different kinds of activities, some in the classroom here and then actually some out in the barn. So they might be working on tasks such as learning to follow directions or stay on task or do a task more independently. They may be working on communication skills, social communication skills, those types of things. So again, they might do a classroom activity in here, and then they'll take that skill they learned out into the barn or the arena and have the opportunity to work with the horses. All right, this here is the HETRA Tack Shack, and HETRA is very fortunate to have support of our community, where individuals from our community will donate gently used horse tack equipment or clothes here. If we're not able to use it in the program, then we put it in our Tack Shack and offer it for sale to the community. The nice thing about this is that any proceeds made from the Tack Shack go to help support our participant sponsorship program. The Tack Shack is also one of the projects that the Life Skills program takes on. So they intake all of the things that are coming into the Tack Shack, they help label it, they help advertise it, and they help do sales for the Tack Shack. So it's a really nice retail opportunity for our Life Skills participants. And we'll take just a quick little view into the Tack Shack so you can see all of the things that are available here. We have saddles, and we have halters and blankets and bridles and bits and boots and show clothes and a little bit of everything always in the Tack Shack. So if you're ever looking for some gently used horse tack or equipment, give us a call and we can let you know if we might have it here at the Tack Shack. So this is one of our therapy gyms. This actually is the one we use with a lot of our kids, our pediatric population that we see. And this is a lot of times is where we'll start our initial evaluation or assessment of those individuals. Or it might be where we start or finish a session. So if we need to have a participant do some additional stretching or some additional exercises, either at the start or the end of our session, we bring them into this therapy room and have the opportunity to do that in a nice environment. All right, we're outside now, and you can see that the HETRA horses all have very nice turnout pens here. And at each and every day that the weather allows, the HETRA horses go out in groups of anywhere from 2 to 4 horses and get to enjoy the day out with their herd mates. Thank you for joining me today on this virtual tour of HETRA's campus located in Gretna, Nebraska. If you're interested in becoming a participant or a volunteer, we invite you to our website at www.hetra.org. We hope to see you soon.